All right, joined by our second driver this evening in the media center. It's Alexander Russell, second fastest on the day for Powerslide Motorsports, 228.49 miles per hour, the four-lap average speed on his qualifications run, and that run came after an attempt that was the third to last for the day, pulling a solid time before that, but ending up with a superb time. Alexander, just kind of talk about first and foremost the decision to head back out there and how you felt about the confidence level sitting in the car with just about 10 minutes left in the session, putting up a run like that.
Well, there was a lot of debate, especially with the team, about whether I should, because we had a good starting spot already. And I knew that my first attempt of the day, I didn't feel good about it. I knew almost instantly after. It was like, well, that wasn't a great run, and I knew it. So it was always like, when am I gonna run again? And then as times got put on the board, it held pretty nicely, and that's where things got difficult. But I trusted everybody who put time in that car setup that it was going to be fast, and that was one of my best runs this week here.
You talk about being a driver and knowing basically your limits, your potential, especially with how many laps ultimately we end up turning in these cars, particularly prepping for Indianapolis. Um, when you look at that moment, and then you move to a scenario basically where you're going out to make a second attempt, and you know that you're withdrawing your previous time. What's that pressure then become like on the second run where you weren't very comfortable the first time out? Now you're making a run on your second attempt, and if anything goes wrong on that attempt, now you're down to one final ultimate run to determine your place in the race. Just kind of talk about the mental battle that we as sim racers kind of have to deal with in that balance.
Well, the biggest thing is that with Hoosier 500 here is there is only 3 attempts. You get 3 tries and that's it versus the big iRacing hosted one in May where you have a whole week. So it's different in that aspect that I don't have the opportunity to go out there and just say, next hour I'll do better. It's a lot of thinking, well, I want to make the race and the car is fast enough. Now it's on the driver. So I was a lot of contemplation about, as I said earlier, it was a really, really solid run. It wasn't great, but it was a good solid run that was sitting at the time in the front 3 rows. So for us sim racers, yeah, we're a bit more limited in terms of that experience, that real life where you have a set time and that's it. So that's one of the largest examples that I feel like I could give that we have it differently.
As we look ahead, obviously big changes coming this week to the car itself. So I think we'll have plenty of time to talk about that in the days ahead. But if we just look at yourself as a driver, where do you feel like you've grown the most in the last year to put you in a position to start up front in the middle of the front row with your teammates in a prestigious 500-mile race like this? What's helped give you maybe an extra 1% over the last year as a driver?
I think that what has definitely pushed it over the edge is just constant pressure in qualifying. Through this year in 2025, I was signed with Tony Kanaan for the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series, and their qualifying means so much. It determines your whole race, what you can do, and what's the rough max potential you can gain. So just having that constant repetition of big lap, this is a big lap, and understanding what the pressure does to you mentally, that's been something that I've had to face. and I feel like I'm better now than I have been 12 months ago. So that's where a lot of growth came from.
Well put. Well, again, thank you, Alexander, so much for your time this evening. Congratulations on a great result from Swift Penguin Creations Pole Day, and we look forward to seeing you compete in the 5th annual PRI Hoosier 500 next Sunday.
Thank you very much.